live in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, the center of Chabad Lubavitch, an international group of Hasidic Jews. I'm on the precipice of my bat mitzvah. On my 12th birthday, I'm going to become a grown woman. Any sins I commit now are my responsibility instead of my parents. My best friend Itta has started talking to boys in secret. This means I've started talking to boys in secret. Sin number 1 that I have to take responsibility for. Check. I go to an all-girls yeshiva. Every day, I'm taught that I need to be happy and do mitzvahs so that I can make Hashem, the Rebbe, and my parents proud, and most importantly, bring Mashiach now. I'm allowed to feel sad, but only when it's appropriate, like waiting for Mashiach on fast days or the yard sites of our fallen Rebbes. I'm taught to behave modestly, to keep my elbows, knees, and collarbone covered. I'm taught to help with the cooking and keeping the house clean so my brothers and father can have a comfortable environment to learn Torah. I get in trouble at school for wearing socks with flowers on them. One day, I'm stopped in the hallway by the principal, Mrs. Altine. She can see my undershirt sticking out of the stiff uniform button-down. Go to the bathroom and take that dreck off. I hand the shirt to Mrs. Altine and watch her shove it into the trash among the wet paper towels. Once I turn 12, I am over this shit. It would be one thing if it was just school, but my family's also a flaming mess. I'm the 9th out of 10 siblings. See, the whole thing about the Chasidic community is that we're rebuilding the lost souls from the Holocaust, which, fair, but... I mean, from the vantage point of the 9th out of 10 children, I think they might want to reconsider. Financially, emotionally, you name it, my parents cannot raise 10 kids. They fight every day, literally every day. The sound of their shouting is more constant than the sunrise. I just want to get out of here, out of this house, out of this school, out of Crown Heights. But the only way I can leave my parents' house is to get married. So when it starts talking to boys in secret, I figure this is the only way I can get a head start on the whole marriage thing. I don't even like boys, but I do it because Itta is doing it, and so I feel safe. Our friendship is cemented in our shared secret about boys, and we even start skipping school together. We go to the mall to try on clothes we would never be allowed to wear. We eat pretzels from Auntie Anne's and giggle about the non-kosher butter that it's soaked in. We spot cute boys and follow them around the mall. Spend our babysitting money on the overpriced photo booth. Itta is the only one I trust. Sure, I'm friendly with some of the girls at school, but they don't know my secrets. They don't know that my brother gets hit at least once a week. They don't know about my dreams to escape, to wear jeans on a Saturday and have my shoulders kiss the sun. But Itta knows. She knows about all of it. I'm 13, a whole year of sins under my belt. Itta and I are getting a bit reckless, skipping school more often than we can get away with. One day in early April, our recklessness catches up to us. We're called into the principal's office over the loudspeaker. I walk down the empty hallway. Each step I take feels heavier than the last. When I get there, Itta is sitting in a purple chair with armrests trapped in front of Mrs. Altine and Mrs. Jacobson.
What were you doing at the mall? Do you really think it's a good idea to be spending your time on this shtuss? This kind of thing always leads to talking to boys and smoking cigarettes. Do you want to do those things?
I sit there simultaneously terrified and amused. Silly principals. We're already talking to boys. And don't you know, we would never smoke cigarettes. My amusement is short-lived as I notice Itta isn't moving at all. Not a muscle, not an inch. I shrink into my seat and wait for it to be over. When my mom finds out, she tries to be nice about it. She takes me out for bagels. She's more concerned about how it reflects on her parenting than what it means for me to be a child who's missed 60% of the 7th grade. I wonder how your friend is doing, she asks. I bet her mom isn't being so understanding. She's right. Ita is sent to Florida to live with her sister and go to school and to be away from me and my influence. Nothing is the same. I stop skipping school and feign interest in other friendships, but I don't let anyone get close. There's no point, I tell myself. She's the only one who understands me. We talk on the phone all the time, nourishing each other from afar. We reunite when we're 15. She returns to Brooklyn. She's been kicked out of the school in Florida for using a straightening iron on Shabbos. I drop out of school too, and together we start taking GED classes. Now that she's back, we're unstoppable. We sneak out of our houses at 3 a.m. just to take the subway to Times Square. We start arguments with religious men and sing in the streets. When I turn 18, we get matching tattoos of the coordinates of our houses. I abandon the idea that I need to get married to get out. I can do anything with Ita at my side. But it's harder than I imagined. We're both struggling to find our way. It shouldn't be this hard. We're together. Why isn't that enough for everything to be fixed? I'm 18, and I can't survive in the world by having only one friend. I begin to feel suffocated by our closeness. It makes me feel small, like the way I felt when I was in school. It's like the gravitational force we shared can only exist if I don't expand. I don't quite understand this, but I start to unintentionally pull away from her and build relationships with other people. I'm 21, and things are looking okay. I get a job doing community organizing. I move out of my parents' house. I wear jeans on Saturdays. But Ita and I, when Ita and I spend time together, I feel like I'm not really there. Like my body is floating a few feet above itself, just enough to be out of her reach. But I would never ever say this to her. Outwardly, things are normal. We hang out all the time, go to brunch and see movies, compare notes on dating, help each other with hair dye. We're out for drinks one day, sitting on the edge of our bar stools when the truth comes out. Ita says, I'm feeling sad that we aren't best friends anymore. We're just friends now. I instinctively deny it. There's no way I could exist without being intertwined with her. This girl is my life. But she's right. And a few months after that, she stops answering my texts. Today, I'm 26, and things are pretty good. I'm learning how to trust other people, writing poetry about my childhood, planting flowers with my friends. Ita and I have talked a few times, but we aren't exactly on speaking terms. We don't share secrets. There are moments when I'm so deeply saddened by this loss, when I sit on the ground and weep and heave, because words cannot describe how much I miss her. But I don't miss feeling small. I don't miss who I was inside of our relationship when it ended. Every day, the space between us gets bigger. And my secret hope is that one day it gets big enough to hold who we were as children and to hold something new, who we are now.